Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Castlevania Order of Ecclesia. I'm Mark91 and off screen I got the Arma Felix Glyph, which transforms you into a Black Panther, or Red Panther it seems. No, not the Pink Panther, which allows you to talk to the cats in Wygoll village among the... but also that's not all it does. Okay, get spotted in prison and a scary machine shows up, but that doesn't mean it's not worth fighting. The cats will give hints to hidden things, like that one pointed to Minerva's prison island, to the right side, where the spotlights are, and if you get spotted there, a tin man will show up, and when you defeat that tin man, a chest will appear. I don't really know what item it contains. I'll show that in the next, well, probably, perhaps in the next video, perhaps an extra video. In a room black as me, there are some treasures. See, get rid of the ousty things and you're home free. By ink. Yeah, a rhyming cat. That's pointed to the mystery mansion, to the room where we got Umbra, full Umbra. Okay, now that we've gotten Paris, we can pass through here, back in Castlevania. For the secrets that Ink told us about, we need the third and final transformation glyph, Arma Messina. And the name by the name you can probably already guess a bit what it does. Okay, combat differences, well, combat differences that Felix form has. You'll get two new attacks, that dash attack and a swipe attack. And the Black Panthers won't bother you anymore. Instead, they'll fight for you. Which is pretty useful in here. In that way you can farm experience in this room. Okay, about the attacks. The dash attack will send you flying forward, hitting the first, dealing damage to the first thing you hit, and also giving you 1 HP. Will send you bouncing back a bit, so that you won't get any contact damage like I had there. Swipe's attack will have you standing still, unless you're jumping, and it will deal about 3 to 4 times damage to any opponent caught in the hits. Okay, the underground labyrinth. New area, new enemy. New enemies and a new boss. First off, the Nova skeletons. Your standard, it's well, a skeleton that attacks with Nikista, a new glyph, which deals 2 kinds of damage and is just a beam attack. Some people consider that glyph to be the best in the game, but I don't like it that much. Okay, second new enemy, the Polkir, will usually just float around. And when it is going to attack, it will hover in place, send out a bit of a sweeping beam, but that doesn't deal the damage. The area that the beam sweeps past will explode, dealing damage in quite a big area. But it's pretty easy to get out of range. Okay, the Gashida, a big walking griffin-like statue. It will mostly try to pounce you or petrify you. Of course, the petrification is the worst of the moves. Worst for us, better for them. And I did get petrified by accident. When it starts breathing like that, that's when you need to get out of range, or you'll get stoned, leaving you extremely vulnerable. As you saw, it dealt about 200 damage to me there. But because of their size and slowness, they can be dodged pretty easily with the jump strike. Here I discovered something new about the Emperor glyph. That it not only does it increase your health regeneration with the Reflectio glyph, it also restores. It also increases the amount of health you get restored by healing items. Also, the Emperor ring doesn't affect the health gain from the dash attack from Felix. Okay, New enemy, the Gurkha master. It usually is accompanied by lag in the recording, as you can see here. It's not the room, it's the Gurkha masters. Yeah, there's the second one. They're vulnerable to crush, but Globus isn't really the best glyph to use against them because they usually appear in big rooms, where Globus won't be as effective. So I'd say switch to Macir until you get the next crush glyph. Yeah, they can be a tad hard to jump. It can be a bit hard to jump over them when they're trying to use that downward slash. They can also throw that sword at you. Yeah. Okay, moving on. There's another Polkir and I believe some more Nova skeletons, or not. A glyph challenge room. Yeah, you can probably guess what kind of glyph we're going to get here. Full Ignis. It's full Ignis summons pillars of fire, which are pretty small. They can deal, I believe, up to 8 times the damage. But because of the small size of the flame, by the time that it would have dealt all that damage, they're already out of range. Yeah, I just showed it just to show it. I'd say the normal Ignis is better than the full Ignis. Yeah. With the spells, the full version doesn't have to. With the spells, the full version doesn't always have to be stronger or better. Yeah, I probably could have. Perhaps I could have skipped some of these guys, but I just killed them just to be sure. And that skeleton just jumped down to avoid me, but he won't be getting away. Eat pink swirly dead suckers. Yeah, Globus completely rules in this area, or at least in these small staircase rooms. Okay, slow down, so there's a Gurkha master. I probably should have figured out that Globus isn't the best choice against these guys here. Still slow down, so there's another one. Now that's a good way for me to figure out how many of them are left in the room. This guy seemed to have fun constantly throwing that sword at me. Now you can't duck it, because it sweeps over the ground also. It also sweeps over the ground. So you can't duck underneath that attack. Okay, a fork in the road, but they both lead to the same place. I went this way because this way also gives access to a room which gives a pretty useful item. At least I think so. That's the other room of the other way has a chest with I believe a heart up. Now the item is guarded by 2 Polkirs, but they shouldn't be too big of a problem. And that targeting laser thing of the Polkirs doesn't seem to show up on the emulator and recording. The Mercury boots. Sacrifice a bit of defense for faster walking speeds, which is pretty useful, because this way you'll be able to dodge back. You'll be able to dodge enemy attacks better. Okay, and now to go the other way, which is another candle room with more Gurkha monsters. Yeah, the name of those guys comes from the weapon they use. The sword, I believe, is called a Gurkha. Not sure where it's from. And there they accidentally discovered a new bit. So that's if you kill a Gurkha master while it doesn't have its sword in its hands, the sword will just fall off screen. Yeah, Felix form is just complete devastation against anything that's weak against slash.